Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nayeli. Today I'm going to be sharing with y'all my Catholic book collection. I have quite a few, so I'm going to try to get through them pretty quickly. I thought I would share my collection so I can recommend to y'all, whoever is interested, different books. And with Christmas around the corner, which is really crazy, I thought, a lot of these books would make really good gift ideas, or they would make really good gifts. So I thought I would share my collection, whether you want to get one as a gift or for yourself to read. I'm not going to be reviewing each book. This is just like I'm showing which one I have and if I read it or not. This is my collection / recommendations, gift ideas, all of that. I made a list so I can separate them into different categories, but yeah, I think I'll just jump right into it because there's quite a few. Number one, this has to be number one, the Bible. Like, duh. Not gonna lie, I recently have been slacking reading it, and every day probably I keep hearing, read your Bible, read your Bible. I finally did it today. Really good, really helpful, and this is your guide to like legit everything. Will help you fight your battles. This is your reminder to read your Bible. If you don't have a Bible, then I would recommend maybe asking someone that you know would, or maybe going to a church to ask. Or if there's no way for you to get a Bible, then let me know and we'll work something out. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. First section, this section category is devotionals, daily devotionals. So the first one, I got it at Mission Carmel. It's called You're Blessed. You are blessed. You are blessed. You are blessed. I think I read through this maybe twice already. I had this for a few years. Super good messages. It's for a woman, but there's such good messages in it. You know what? There might be one for men. I'll look into that. Next is Jesus Calling by Sarah Young. I've heard mixed reviews about this book. Personally, I think it has good messages. This was the first daily devotional I started reading. The messages that I have read from these have been good. Next, I don't have the physical book with me yet, but it's one that I've read quite a few daily messages from, called Day to Day with Saint Joseph by Joseph Champlin and Ken. Don't know how the last name is pronounced, but I haven't read all of it because I don't have my own physical copy. I had been sharing it, reading it with someone else, but the messages that I have read have been super helpful and super relative to whatever was going on in that day or week, whatever. I also got that one from Mission Carmel. I know they have it online too, but there's also another one, Day to Day with St. Francis. Those are really beautiful devotionals and highly recommended. Next, this one I love so much. It's called I Choose the Sky, a scriptural devotion for women by Emily Wilson. So good. I've read this. I think I went through it once. So it's not a daily devotional. I mean, you could do it every day. So each chapter has different theme, I guess. So one day it could be about friendship, compassion, relationships, different topics all together. So this one's called The Best Things, and each chapter has a different name of a woman in the Bible. So one chapter is called Lydia, one's called Esther, one is Eve. It gives you a little Bible passage to read, and then Emily's devotion. Then it also gives you a prayer and a reflection. And when I went through this, I believe a year and a half ago, around there, I would journal my reflection answers and just kind of notes that I took on it. So really good. I am planning to do this again soon. When I had finished reading it, I had posted a reflection of it on my Instagram, and Emily Wilson, she's one of my favorite Catholic speakers, she shared my post on her story twice. Kind of freaking out. That was awesome. Next category is prayer and discernment books. First one up is Deliverance Prayers by Father Chad Ripperger. Highly recommended. All these prayers in here are so powerful. Some are intense, but powerful. And I cannot recommend this enough. I would recommend this to anyone and everyone. There's just so many great prayers in here. In the back, it also has a list of sins. There's examination of conscience, prayers for healing, litanies, so much stuff. Intense too, but so powerful. highly recommended. Next is, this book was recommended to me already about a year ago, I would say. Handbook of Prayers. It's so cute and little. So many different themes, not just prayers, but for example, here it says summary of Christian beliefs, holy orders, how to be a better Catholic, works of mercy, so much stuff, different devotions to the Blessed Virgin Mary, rosary readings, guide for a good confession, Eucharistic prayers, basic prayers, so much in this little book. I mean, not that little, but highly recommended. Next, it's just this little booklet, but I would recommend it to anyone who wants to pray the 54-day Rosary Novena. Rosary Novenas to Our Lady by Charles V. Lacey. It shows you how to pray the Rosary, how to pray the Rosary Novenas. It also has a checklist, little calendar, for the 54-day Rosary Novena. And it has such beautiful images for each mystery. I got this, or I was given this a few years ago. Next is this, it's not a book, it's a journal, but I thought I would include it here. It's a prayer journal, Saint Therese of Lisieux. I got this as part of a birthday present. It has like a little quote, and then you write down your prayers, and then blessings and answer to prayers and notes. So I just thought it was really cute and I would include it. Next is another super good book. I have not read all of it. I heard that it's not necessarily a book you have to read from start to finish right away. You can take your time on it as you're discerning and praying and stuff. But Pray, Decide, and Don't Worry, 5 Steps to Discerning God's Will by Bobby and Jackie Angel with Father Mike Schmitz. Super awesome people. Jackie and Bobby Angel are so funny and hilarious and fun to watch. All 3 of them. They do videos on Ascension Presents and their videos are bomb. They're great. Yeah, it gives a lot of great advice for discernment, and it gives reflection questions. And if you need to discern something, or just wanting to discern God's will, this is so good. I am gonna read this again though, because it's been a while and I really need some discernment, you know? Next is this book that was also recommended to me, Rediscover Jesus. I read it during Lent this year. Rediscover Jesus, an Invitation by Matthew Kelly. Super good. So many beautiful messages and passages. It gives you the reading for the day, and then it ends with a point to ponder, verse to live by, question to consider, and a prayer. It makes you think a lot, and it has so many good messages. Even if it's not Lent, I think it'd be worth the read. Next is True North, a Roadmap for Discernment by Joel Stepanek. Sorry. I got this book at Steubenville 2018. I read it, I'm pretty sure, like soon after I got it. Another great book, especially when you're in a season when you don't really know what God's will for you is. And so many wise words in this. Really recommended. Next is a book I've read through, I believe, twice already now, which is 15 Days of Prayer with Blessed Chiara Badano by Florence Gillett. Super good, especially if you want to learn about Blessed Chiara's life, kind of take a peek into what her life was like and day to day, and like her as a person, you know? I believe it was earlier this year when I read it with someone, and it was so beautiful learning about her faith and her soul, and like super beautiful, and it really made me, like, helped me to get to know her better, and highly recommend it. I got this as part of a Christmas present last year, which I'm so grateful for. That is the end of the prayer / discernment books. So the next category is one that includes books that have to do with relationships, image, growth, guides, all that stuff. First one is by Anthony Simon, called Sex, Love, and Worth: How I Survived College Without Sex and Discovered Love. I met Anthony on Instagram a few years ago. We chatted a bit about his book. Super good, really good testimony. At the end of each chapter, there's questions and an action step. But yeah, really good and recommended. And pray for him, actually, because he posted on Instagram recently that he's going to study in the seminary to be a priest, which is super awesome. He said he was studying at a seminary, I believe, in Michigan. But yeah, keep him in your prayers. Super awesome. Next is this book by Jason Everett, If You Really Loved Me, 100 Questions on Dating, Relationships, and Sexual Purity. I have not read through the whole book beginning to end. I read through a bit earlier this year, but also there's different like categories within this book and different questions. Whenever I had kind of like a question, I would just kind of like go to that specific question and read what he has to say about that. So there's just so many questions in here that I know I've had, I'm sure other people have as well. Like in the back it says, have you ever asked yourself, how far is too far? How do I say no? How do I start over? How do I know if this is love? What if we really love each other? Why should I wait for marriage? There's just so many questions. He has the answers in this book, really explains it and gives a lot of sources, and yeah, really recommend it, especially if you have any questions, dating, relationships, purity, stuff like that. Next is another little booklet. I got this at my church, actually. They were selling it like on a little stand. Pure Womanhood by Kristalina Everett. There's actually a guy version of this, Pure Manhood. And I read this quite a while back. It was probably around 2017, 18. Such a small book, but it's so like powerful. Like I have a lot of, I don't know if you can see, I have a lot of notes underlined so much. Highly recommended. Next, I have this book. I don't know where it's at. I think I left it in the car, so I don't have it with me right now, but it's Go Bravely by Emily Wilson. She also recently came out with a journal companion to go along with it, which I am definitely gonna get. Yeah, I think it's another good one for girls, any age, teenager, young adult. I think it's a really good one, and I'm excited to read it. Next, That One Girl, Lessons from Mary for a Young Catholic Woman by Christina Meade. So I read this also when I got it. I got this at Steubenville 2018 as well. A lot of messages if they'd be from Mama Mary. One chapter is on friendship, one chapter is on body image, which is super powerful. Another chapter on purity. Really helpful, I think, for any like teenage girl, young adult girl. I think all girls can get something out of this. Modern feminism. I think this is a highly recommended, and I think it'd also make a really good Christmas present for a young Catholic woman. So highly recommended. Next, I read this a few years ago, and I wish I remembered more about it, but I remember enough to know that it's bomb. More Than a Pretty Face by Christina Meade. It talks so much about body image and image in general, and I think it would benefit a lot of girls in this time to read this. I'm gonna read some of the names of the chapters on the content page. Beginning with Beautiful. If only I was pretty. If only I was thinner. If only I was dating. If only I was more famous. A lot of other great ones. In this powerful book, Christina Meade mixes her personal testimony with powerful truths about God's love, true beauty, and how to see yourself as God sees you, as more than a pretty face. Next, I got this also for my birthday this year. I have not read it yet, but it looked so good. And I'm so excited to read this, especially in case you can't tell by my room, by my shirt even. I love flowers so much. And each something that stuck out to me right away. Oh, I was just looking at it. Okay, the contents, each category, it's the name of a different flower. And the first one is the sunflower. Sunflowers are one of my top favorite flowers, so that really stuck out to me. And there's so, like, this is just the content list. This is just the content list. Like, look at all of that. So many different topics. I can't remember if I said the title. The Catholic Girls Guide by Reverend Francis Epps Lesance. I'm so excited to read this. Super excited. Truly a manual for Catholic young ladies from the middle years up to and including married life. So this is really good for all Catholic women of any age, I believe. So I'm so excited to read this. I forgot to mention something else after I mentioned this. There is a book also on Lifeline on their website. It's called Man Enough, Lessons from St. Joseph. So it's kind of like, you know, this is a girl one from Mama Mary, and then there's a guy one from St. Joseph. Here's a photo of it. I think that would also be a perfect like gift. I think that would have so much great insight and messages for Catholic guys, whether they be teen, young adults. I think that would be really good. Next category, books about Mary. First one up is The Glories of Mary by St. Alphonsus de Liguori. Yeah, St. Alphonsus de Liguori. I have not read this one yet, but this book was, oh wait, I saw a photo of Mama Mary. So beautiful. This book was gifted to me by the program America Needs Fatima. I have taken part of rosary rallies through them for the past 2 years, which has been such a blessing. They sent me this book, which I am also super excited to read. Yeah, if you would like to lead a rosary rally for your city, if you want to check out America Needs Fatima, link in the bio. Next up is How to Pray Like Mary by Sonia Corbett, and I was gifted this for my birthday, and I'm so grateful because I've heard so much about this book. I've heard a lot of good things about this book. I'm super excited. It's such a beautiful statue of Mama Mary too. I haven't read it, but I already love it. I mean, Mama Mary. Next, oh my gosh, this is one of these books that I also cannot recommend enough. The Secret of the Rosary by St. Louis de Montfort. I've probably read this like almost 3 times already. It's not a huge book, but oh my gosh, it's so, like, I'm speechless. Like, this book will increase significantly your devotion and love for not only Mama Mary, but for the Rosary as well. So many beautiful stories, how the Rosary was made and like how it was started, and like so many different things. It even talks about the Rosary Confraternity and who started that. So much in here. It's just so beautiful. I cannot recommend this enough. Like, please read it. I'm so glad this book came into my life, and I know it's helped others as well, and it really increases your love and devotion to the Rosary. And every time that I've read it, something different and more comes out of it. It really tells you how powerful it is. It really is so powerful, and such a powerful weapon that God blessed us with. Next, this is an Advent book, but just look at the beautiful photo. Not just the photo, but like, I'm just saying, look at the beautiful photo. It's so Mama Mary and St. Joseph. I read it last year and it's so beautiful. I thought I would include it in here because it's meditations with the Holy Family. It is based for Advent and stuff. I mean, Advent is coming up. I honestly would read this even if it wasn't Advent. Okay, last but not least, books about saints. Here's a stack. First up, Saint Therese of Lisieux, Story of a Soul. This one that I have here is the study edition. But what I've read so far is like not the study edition. I love Saint Therese. She's one of my saint besties. She's in my saint squad. She is so awesome, one of my besties. If you want to learn more about Saint Therese, highly recommend reading Story of a Soul. And also, I'll mention this other one right now. This other Saint Therese book by Father Raymond de Thomas de Saint Laurent. And it's not long at all. And there's also a lot of pictures included in this. And it's a really easy read. If you want to learn about Saint Therese, I would highly recommend these books. Next up is a book about my confirmation saint, Saint Philomena, Powerful with God by Sister Marie Helene Moore. I read most of this, I believe, like when I got it around the time of my confirmation. When I was looking for a saint to choose, at the time I wasn't super deep in my faith yet, and I did not know of many saints at all. I didn't really have a relationship with any, so I didn't know of any. I was at a church one day and I found a prayer card of Saint Philomena. I saw this prayer card of Saint Philomena and she really stuck out to me right away because of, first of all, the flower crown. At that time, I was so into flower crowns, and her curly hair. I have naturally curly hair. The flowers, just everything about this image stuck out to me. Like, it shares her story in here. And I was like, wow, this is my saint. This is her. Like, I found it, I found her, I had heard that a saint is the one that chooses you. After that, I could not agree with that more because I know, like, she found me, and I'm so grateful and blessed for that. If you would like to get to know her too, then this I would recommend to you. Next is another book. this one was gifted to me as well last Christmas. Also super grateful because it really taught me a lot about tiara. This one is Tiara Luce, A Life Lived to the Full by Michelle Zenzuki. It's a really short and easy read of Blessed Tiara, her life, her friendships, her experiences, and has these cute photos of her in the back. So if you would like to get to know more about Tiara, then this would be a good book. Next is such a good and highly recommended one, The Diary of Saint Faustina. I have not read all of this, but everything that I've read from it or heard from it, everything is so powerful and so good and beautiful. I was also gifted this for my birthday. So grateful because I did not have my own copy of it, but now I do. So excited. If you want to learn, not only learn about Saint Faustina, but legit read her diary and her notebooks, then this is it. And her visions of Jesus and his mercy, so beautiful and powerful and intense and all around great. The next section is it's just little random booklets that I have. Not even all the booklets, just like little recommended books, but it's Beginning Apologetics, How to Explain and Defend the Catholic Faith. This is number 1. There's 9. There's the whole series in the back. Basically any questions you would have about Catholicism, or basically how you would explain Catholicism to others and how to defend the faith. I've kind of been getting into apologetics lately. I've been wanting to dig into it more and read about it, so I've heard that this is actually really good. Oh, and this is by Father Frank Chacon and Jim Burnham. Next is 100 Things Every Catholic Teen Should Know by Mark Hart and Todd Lemutz. Another Life Teen book, so I'm sure it's on their website as well. Each page just about or so is a question. Why do priests and religious dress the way they do? What is tradition? The rosary, adoration, all these different things and topics. You can find explanations about it in here. I know this definitely helped me, so really recommended. Next is this book that was gifted to me recently by my cousin, and I have not read it yet. But recently I've been seeing people like talk about it, or I've seen people share Searching for and Maintaining Peace, a Small Treatise on Peace of Heart by Father Jacques Philippe. I'm excited to read this. It's a cute little book. So this one specifically is on Saint Therese, Novena and Prayers, but there's so many little booklets of these for different saints. I have one also, I believe, of Saint Joseph, but it has a lot of novena prayers to that saint, readings, morning prayer for to Saint Therese. Cute little booklet. That is it. That is all my Catholic books. Actually, I think I forgot a few, but I am definitely gonna do hopefully a second one when I get more books, which is inevitable because I love buying Catholic books. But that is about it. Thank you for watching and listening to my Catholic book collection. It will definitely grow. I love reading faith-related books and buying faith-related books. There's just so much to learn about the faith. It's so beautiful, and all the saints, the church, everything. Like, there's so much to learn. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you would like to follow me on Instagram, here is my handle at Nayeli Ayala __. I share a lot of things about the faith, novenas going on, quotes, saint quotes, prayers, life things, random things. Sometimes I do live rosaries. I am also a brand ambassador for His Glory Christian clothing company. You can use my code HOPEISHERE for 15% off. Link will be in the description. They have a lot of cute apparel, clothing, and I just ordered something and I'm so excited to receive it in the mail. But I'm really glad I got to do this video. Thank you for following along and listening and checking out my Catholic book collection. God bless you guys. Praying for you guys. Please keep me in your prayers as well. I'd really appreciate it. That's about it. I pray you guys have a very blessed and beautiful week, and I will see you guys in my next video. Yeah. Peace out and God bless.